Hi, I'm Shane Lofazon here with Calvin Pack, and welcome to a demo of Apis Core. So here we have a couple calls, HTTP calls. So heads up disclaimer, this is a technical demonstration, and you may want to tune in if you're not technical, but just know I'll be using some blockchain terminology. So here we have an endpoint that uses typical Web3 calls, traditional Web3 calls, to talk to an Ethereum node to get information about addresses. And in particular, they're about transactions for a particular address. So we have passed in the address, the Ethereum address, and then we put the start block number and the end block number that we're looking for them here. And so we're going to take this traditional call. We're actually going to compare it in a minute to the Apis Core optimized call. So I'm going to start this and hold on to your hold on because it could take a little while. So this is not an optimized call, right? This is the traditional Web3 method of getting transactions. It can take 5 seconds to 60 seconds or longer. And here we actually got a lot of information. Right? And that's one of the problems. If we can scroll down here, we'll see it was almost 20,000 lines because we queried around 1,500 blocks. And if we look at the timestamps, most of that time was spent here in the server. Right? So transfer start happens here, and then the server's searching for blocks. And then when that's done, we download it. Right? So it did take about a second to download, but 15 seconds spent searching for this data. Let's compare that to the Apis Core calls. So this is the same information. Actually, it's more information because this takes all of the transactions throughout time for this address. This is something that you may not often use because you may want just pages or subsets of this information in your application. But here it's good for demo purposes. So let's send this and see. We actually did get more information this time. So in a second, this should clean up. There we go. And if we come down here, we actually got the rest of the data. So almost 35,000 lines here. So we got a few more transactions in this call. And if we look at the timestamp, it was much faster. And so about half a second. And we did get a ton of information. So most of the time spent in this 2.5 seconds was download. Most of the time is going to be less. Let's run this again just to confirm here. And I think you could see that 273 milliseconds pop up. Yeah. So one of the powerful things that we do with Apis Core is we cache. So this is less than half the time it took. 233 milliseconds to fetch all of this information is actually quite good. And so those are some of the powers of the Apis Core project. And then another thing I wanted to mention is you see the Ethereum here. Imagine that you could put any blockchain enum in here, and you could get the same information. So with Apis Core, we support currently Ethereum and Bitcoin, but we're open to expanding that. And the power of this this methodology allows you to not interact with blockchain at all and get multi-blockchain information indexed in large queries at low response times. So that's the demo. Thank you very much for tuning in.